Do you know that there are many false facts in ancient Egyptian history? The difference in languages and the demolition of many cultural facilities, along with the disappearance of some of them, makes it difficult for us to understand what was going on at that time. Of course, other than wars and occupation, which helped a lot in confirming these fallacies in history. Come today I talk to you about a great queen we all know. Unfortunately, all the information we know about it is wrong. Many facts have been falsified, possibly deliberately. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so that you can receive all that is new. We all know that Queen Cleopatra is the most important king of ancient Egypt. This is because she was one of the richest kings of the Mediterranean. In addition to being the most successful woman in that era, it is also written in favor of the victor. The Cleopatra group of dementia spread too much. The time finally drew to separate fact from fiction. He mentioned the truth about Queen Cleopatra, as explained by many sites in a few points. The first point, if we ask how Cleopatra was, you will come to mind a queen of beauty and splendid beauty. And this is because the movies and characters that played the role of Cleopatra like Elizabeth affected our brain in this way. Including that Ashton studied Cleopatra's dynasty and her appearance on ancient coins, in addition to pictures of sculptures and copies of temple decorations in Dendera. Aston came to the conclusion that Cleopatra had a very long nose, thin lips, sharp chin, and dark skin, in addition to her short body that did not rise to normal beauty standards. She was 152 centimeters tall and considered somewhat obese. I mean, from the end, Cleopatra was not as beautiful as the actresses who played her. And also the basic perception about Cleopatra's beauty came because of the idea that she was able to seduce two of the most powerful men at the time, namely Julius Caesar and Marcus Antonius. But Cleopatra appears in coins that bear her image with a sharp chin and a somewhat pointed nose, along with an eccentric expression that cannot express beauty, but of course she was smart and strong. The second point is Cleopatra, the ruthless killer. During her life, which lasted for less than 4 decades, Cleopatra killed many members of her family, and although the matter was brutal upon knowledge, she did this in order to preserve her safety and her throne. Many documentaries show Cleopatra that she had a cold killer heart, but for the common belief, many historians agreed that Cleopatra only resorted to killing when she was sure that it was absolutely necessary and that her family members would have killed her before she killed them first. The third point states that Queen Cleopatra did not die of a snake bite. According to the accounts, we know that Cleopatra was deeply saddened by the death of her lover, Marcus Antonius. This is in addition to her fear of being presented as war booty to the victorious Romans. She killed herself by being bitten by a snake. However, many researchers have confirmed that this method of death may not, in fact, be accurate. And that there is very little archaeological and documentary evidence that helps in finding the truth that is not subject to controversy and doubt, and this is what can refute this story, including that the Egyptians were known for their great knowledge of medicine and poison treatment, and scientists such as Christopher Schaefer and the expert in toxicology have another theory, so they said and claimed that the Egyptian queen could have been poisoned herself using a mixture of opium, hemlock, and wolf strangle. It is a fast-acting, painless killer combination. As for the fourth and surprising point, Cleopatra did not die because of her confinement to Antony. Although we all love the romantic character in the story of Cleopatra and Antony, I was deeply saddened by his death. But historians believe that there are other reasons that led to fun. It is likely that the fall of Egypt at the hands of the Romans is the real reason behind her suicide. And Cleopatra predicted at the time that it would be presented as a spoil of war for the victory of the Romans. And that would be a kind of humiliation for her as the Queen of Egypt. It also went from a state of pride and wealth to a state of bankruptcy. And this is what you can't bear to live in. They revealed that her suicide was not the result of imaginary romantic motives. Rather, for more realistic motives. The fifth point is that Cleopatra was not buried with her lover, Antony. The second thing that will overwhelm history bloggers is romantic feelings. Either they said that Cleopatra was buried with her lover Marcus Antonius. But we will say that there is a division among experts on this subject. There is an opinion that Cleopatra built for herself a cemetery in Alexandria, together in a temple. But in reality, this myth will not be true or false unless the alleged tomb of Queen Cleopatra is found. Existing now in the water next to the ruins of what remains of the ancient city of somewhat known, Cleopatra spent a lot on her beauty and hair. Many historians criticized Cleopatra and described, but she also ruled Egypt in a very good way besides being a serious person according to historians. Many believe Cleopatra only used her beauty in her rule of Egypt. This is of course not true. And the time she used her beauty was for the benefit of her or her kingdom. Economy in a measured manner. In addition to promoting trade education. The ninth, final, and most important point is that Cleopatra